Hello everyone, and welcome to the Deepbluerenegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deepbluerenegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 162. Today is Sunday, December 18th, 2016, and I'm glad you can join me today. I think Canada came to visit today, so it's sort of the case where it was just like so hard to feel warm. But I was wearing this sweater earlier today, so that may have not been helping. But such is life. So I was wearing these, though. That was nice. So I managed to get this to a good stopping point. For once this week, I don't know, whatever. This is the Laminaria shawl. It's an Elizabeth Freeman pattern. And we have made it to purple. So, you can't even tell because it's looking sort of dark. But, I am only a few more rows away from being, so let's say 4 more rows from actually being done with this bad boy. You can sort of maybe see the laciness of it all peeking through in the border as opposed to the flowery bit. The flowery bit's sort of dense. So it's definitely nice and big at this point. I don't even think I can, is it? Oh yeah. So we're easily, gently reaching that wingspan sort of length, so I think we should be good here. And the ball of yarn is, well, it seems like maybe some angles of it look like the right color purple and other ones don't, but this is sort of like an eggplant purple at this point. So definitely into the purple. So this has been my only knitting, and I don't think it's got a super duper ton of work done on it. I am in almost whatever, so I'm got a decent way through chart 2. So that was pretty good. But for some reason it didn't work out this week to have a lot of knitting time. Whatever. But there has been spinning, so it'll be okay. I can't remember if this was wet or dry or what have you, but this is all washed and prettified, and this is my Into the World. The colorway is Prance, and it is a 50% merino, 50% or 25% bamboo, 25% silk, and it is all beautified and FO pictured and the whole lot. So this one went really fast. It was one of those ones where it only ended up getting a finished skein picture for the spinning project, because I was hauling to try to get this bad boy done. So I tried to line up the colors. It didn't entirely work out, but where there are delightful transitions, it's pretty cool. The other thing was I ended up spinning up the Malabrigo Noob. And I ended up end-plying this, and I think it's what would it be? I actually think I got pretty decent yardage on this bad boy. Let me look it up for you. It won't be too long. So this is Malabrigo Noob in the Poseidon colorway. Survey says 270 yards, so probably sporty. Or what is it? DK Sport something in there. I guess I said DK. So I was thinking it was going to turn out way bulkier, and maybe it will poof up when I wash it, because I haven't washed it yet. So I ended up, it wasn't pleasant to spin, but the yarn is nice. Like, I'm really super duper happy with how the yarn turned out. I could just hold it still for a little bit. Oh, that's the skein tie. Okay. So, and because of the fact that it was all these subtle color changes, even though I did end ply it, it has an awful lot of depth of color. I'm not sure that this would be my normal color to choose, because there is a lot of blue in it, but it's very gray. So, however that ends up working out, but it's so smushy. So I'm happy with how it turned out. I'm not happy with how it spun. So I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to get more of this fiber, but it was an experiment, and now I've done the experiment, and I will use this. I'm wondering if I'll actually use this sometime soon. So I'm plotting. This one might actually get knit fairly soon. So, yay. Spinning delight. So I'm pretty sure I showed one of those at least before, but maybe not washed, and that one now I've shown, and whatever. So, the last thing is, I don't know, I have clearance, but we shall gently, okay, so what I have going on here is the Western Sky Knits Organic Polworth Silk. I think it's a 75/25. And it is in the poppy seed colorway, which is rainbow. And there are 4 rainbows in the fiber. And you can see how I'm into the blue here. That is because I'm into the last rainbow. Hurrah! I couldn't make it all fit in the frame. So I still have a little bit more blue to go, but I'm on the home stretch in this bad boy. So I'm assuming it's about a rainbow an ounce. I wasn't super quantitative about this one, so, but I am almost done. So that's cool. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end ply it. It maybe could be done end to end, but I'm thinking socks. So, because I'm not sure I could wear it. It's so bright. I'm not sure I could handle it any other way except on my feet. So, been a joy to spin, really lovely going. Very nice palette cleanser from the hard drafting Malabrig of Noob. But such is life. So, hopefully can get a little bit more, or what is it? I'd really like to start or get a decent way into my last project. What is it? Before I end up, what is it? Flying out. So, I guess I could be quantitative. And actually figure out how much is left. So, in terms of my spin bin, 1, as of yet, unstarted spin. So, I could probably add that up. And I suppose I did get a little bit of progress on this bad boy, or at the very least non-zero progress. Then I have my Pigeon Roof Studios, which is getting closer, but will probably be my primary project when I'm back home. Stay away, computer. So, this doesn't look like too much. This looks like I have less than an ounce to go on here, which I think makes sense. So, we'll check. So, the Pigeon Roof Studios, I think, is the most challenging of the bunch, because I am spinning it on the spindle, and I have 5.73 ounces to go, so I managed to get like another quarter ounce in like probably like a 2-hour spinning session. Oh, curses. So my poppy seed is 0.696, so nearly, so that's like, what, about 1.2 ounces, and then my last nest, which does include a bag, is saying 4.23-ish, so there really is basically 4 ounces there, so close. Excuse me, but everything that I have now needs to be plied, and it still needs to be spun. I guess the good news is that I'll be off for some of it, but I won't have my wheel for all of it, so we shall see. It'll be interesting how things work out. Or if I'll be making center pull balls with Sharpie markers, because I've definitely done that before. But what I've been doing, or one thing that I was sort of daydreaming about today, was that I don't just have like one 4-ounce thing of this fiber, I have 3. I'm thinking I want to make it as a, what is it? I think I want to make it as a gradient, actually. Which would mean sort of ripping it all up into pieces and figuring out how I want to piece it back together again. And that may be, and so then that would mean that I don't know if I would like declare a switch out for free to make the first 4 ounces of the yarn. And actually, what is it? It's the Vorfreude, which is a German word, so. Because I was going through the threads and seeing how other people had spun it and trying to figure out how I wanted to do it exactly. So, because there are, as always, options when approaching a fiber and what it is you want to do with it. And so this guy is definitely lots of rich dark tones, or whether or not I want to approach it, how would it be? Or whether or not I want to approach it in terms of, like, the cooler colors and the warmer colors, or what I want to do exactly with it. Because there were probably many different ways that I could approach it. But there's yellow, like a steely blue, a magenta, a little bit of orange, and brown. So it could, and like I think also a little bit of like steely gray as well. So there could be some things that I could do to play around with it, but I'm strangely attracted to this gradient concept, and maybe be the case where I throw in a little bit of comb action to smooth everything out. I'm not sure. Because I think that would end up being really cool, because I really like the projects where the colors were lining up on themselves, and I didn't quite as much like the ones where it was more barber pulley. And since I'm not entirely sure, I guess these probably were actually all dyed at a similar time, but maybe they're not entirely identical in terms of color, so to line them all up and sort of mix everything together might be a good way of smoothing everything out. With respect to the basically like zhuzhing everything together so it is the same colorway. And then saying that I'm going to be spinning the first 4 ounces of that gradient yarn instead. So that's, I think, where I am. It'll take a little bit more prep work and I'm rapidly running out of time. So, I haven't given up hope yet. And I'll be recording again before I'm like totally out of hope, so we'll see. But this is good. This is more like, what would it be? I suppose I could actually figure out how much I have left to go. But it'd be the case where I'm not like 6 ounces to go. What is it? I'm much closer to 5 now, which is good. Positive. Eternal optimist. Let's see. Without the bag. Yeah, no, this is much closer to just straight up 4 ounces, so it's 4.078. So, I think it'll go. I think it'll come together. So, I'll just have to figure out what's what. But it certainly is the case where it's definitely also very pretty braided up like this as well, so who knows. It is a pretty variegated fiber. So I was originally thinking sweater spin, but I would need to, I think, combine it with something else to have like a pound. Whereas maybe something like a Viajante would be a little bit better, but I think I'd want some sort of unifying, I would want it to be a little bit more unified if that was the case. But I think like these just end up being tone-wise, this one is a good deal darker for whatever reason, so maybe it wasn't as repeatable a colorway, because really I don't think it's come up in an update again. So there was like a limited amount in circulation or something like that. So I shall endeavor to discover, but as far as this is concerned, it's definitely looking like it's a little thing's filling up. It looks like I've made some progress on this, but probably more of it will be in the intervening weeks. So let's see. I won't be recording next week because that's Christmas and Christmas Eve, but I could be recording on the 31st or the 1st. So it's gonna be one of those days. Like, it could even be the 2nd if I'm super lazy. We'll see. But what would it be? If there's a hope of me actually making the deadline, I might just be spinning all the way through the 31st. So there's that. But I am trying. I think the episode title will now be Eternal Optimist. I was thinking it was going to be Canada Came to Visit, but like, the low is supposed to be like either 13 or 19 or some sort of odd teen number, so legitimately cold enough that it might kill plants, because they're not used to it being that cold here. And it seems like almost everyone in the United States seems to be having this strange the weather was fantastic and like 74 on Saturday, and I was actually outside that as it went from being 70 to 40. Like, it was so strange, because normally I'm used to like rain being the thing that makes the temperature change a lot, and it just like the winds picked up and it just got colder and colder and colder. But we managed to do all of our outside chores. Or one of the big outside chores is actually restaying the fence. So it's done at last. Which is good. So, what would it be? So, there's that. All of these crazy plans floating around my head, but such is life. And hopefully, what would it be? So, I won't be recording for 2 weeks because it's Christmas. And I will put good odds that I'll be working on entirely new things for when that comes around. So it may require figuring out where in the world I put my... good. I have my collection of acrylic yarn for the turtle cozy. I'll probably also have to pack the fiber fill and some inappropriately small needles for that one. I think I'm gonna fiber fill at least some of it for appropriate turtle coziness. And then I have some projects that have been waiting in the wings for a long time, and the shawl ended up jumping them in line. So I have the pair of socks, and then I have yet another shawl. So we'll see which way I decide on that one. I did have actually some additional stash positions to share, so we better not forget about that. So I ended up getting my nest club for December this week. Before it had even arrived, I had already ordered some semi-solid coordinates to go with it, because I think I want to make a breathing space with this. So this is the Noel colorway, which is the December Club, and it's a superwash merino silk. And it came with a cute ornament, which is downstairs, but I just am totally in love with the red with this guy. And then it has this light blue, this green, and brown with it as well, and then some of these more subtle tones in it as well. So there's like a little bit of gray and then a little bit of like a light tan in it as well. So I'm probably going to combine this one with, what would it be? I'm combining this one with the blue, probably. And then I will spin the red with itself, and that'll be a pound, which I think will be sufficient for my goals. Make something like I think a sport or fingering weight, depending on what ratio I spin it on. But breathing space is a Vera Valimaki pattern, and it seems to be a very similar construction in some regards to the color affection. So it seems like but instead of having 3 colors in the short row section, there are 2. But I think that'll end up being a really gorgeous knit. I'm really excited. So I didn't end up getting extra coordinate, I didn't get an extra bump of the variegated. I figured that just having like a little bit, not like a lot, if that makes any sense. So there will be more of this red, and then more of this blue, if I could point in the right direction, but can't, or this blue. So, that was fun. I've been really bad about entering some of that fiber in my stash, but it's almost flash your stash time, so I may end up doing a Sunday recording for that, because then I can share the pictures on the blog, because I always have fun doing it. It gives me a chance to like sit down, document everything, show all of the pretties, make sure it's all entered, and then arrange everything and go from there. So it just makes, I don't know, it's wonderful to quantify these things. So I think there's a plan, but as always, I'm an eternal optimist, so we'll see if I make it. Like, forget about frenzied Christmas knitting. I am doing like frenzied year-long goal spinning. Oh well. So, with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. So, take care, guys. Bye-bye.